Yo, what up? Welcome to Counter Currents. This is host Petey Steele with my co-hostess
Elena Torres, and that's it.
Yeah, no special
No
guests.
special guests, just the two of us. Another Back to Basics episode.
Got a fucking problem with that? We're
No.
special.
No, we are special.
We're the best. This is like 63, I think.
I've been losing count of the numbers.
Yeah,
That's
me
how many
too.
we've been
Been
doing.
delinquent for it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Last one was Kim Congdon. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah.
I was gone.
Oh, it was so much fun. She's
Yeah?
the coolest. I mean, the feature for it, everything. That was her first headline
Oh really?
ever.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a weird weekend. I mean, it was like cool and weird. Like the first show, none of the shows got more than like 25 or 30. Mm-hmm. And the first one was like a 18 or 15 or something.
Right.
And that's not typically the way you want to start a weekend, like the momentum going in. But I told her, I was like, listen, my first headline up in Hanover was 2 people. So you got to show
That's
the
right, it
dude.
was.
No matter what, you'll get a story out of it
Yeah.
at least. It'll be a blast. And we had a great time.
And it's just good to like practice. I mean, I think just being a headliner, because that's actually, my husband and I were talking about this last night. So, because my husband was like, it's funny to me because you spend years and years in all these shitty bars and working, all these shitty clubs. And then once you're really good, the clubs that you're doing, the audiences are the easiest and like the hottest and most ready to laugh. Mm-hmm. Like he used Comedy Cellar as an example. Like that Comedy Cellar crowd is so ready to laugh.
Yeah, oh, fuck
And
yeah.
it's like, and in many ways, it's a lot easier to crush there than it is on like half the shit we do.
Yeah, it is.
But what I said to him was like, yeah, once you get on those clubs, because people are going to a comedy club, like they're ready to laugh. But at the same time, like when you're doing those clubs, you're also headlining other places, and you can't fuck up a headline.
No.
Like that's the real pressure. Like when people are paying to come see you, like you can't wing that and like hope for a hot crowd, because it's like
so
they
glad
paid.
both those people were on board.
They
with
were
Peter Steele.
awesome. They were the best 2-person crowd I've ever performed in front of. Because I hosted for that show, and they were awesome.
They were dolls.
Yeah, they were so happy to be there. They were laughing it up. They were like the greatest audience members. Those 2 people.
Yeah, I mean, it almost didn't feel like a rep, but it was a great story. But it was like an exhibition match or something.
Yeah. I did like all new shit. They were loving it. It was so fun.
And I will say, probably my first like, full headline may well be at that same club.
Oh, really? Have you been talking to them?
No, but I just imagine like, all right. I mean, I put it like this. Right now, I would say I'm like being fair, like a middling to a little better than middling feature. Like my 20 is solid, but it's got some patches that could always be worked on. Like it's amazing. I've always said this.
Well, I mean, it's also like that's how you feel, but I've seen your 20 is pretty strong. Like it's a good feature set.
Well, I appreciate that.
It's a very solid feature set for anybody.
Yeah. No, you're right, but it's funny though, because you look at it and you say, like I was telling a joke. I can't remember. Well, I do remember, but I'm not going to say which one. But I thought of like one tag I could use to tighten it up, and holy fuck, it like tightens it way up, like where it was before. And I've been telling the joke now for a couple years, and I'm like, wow, like just one little squeaky, twist and turn, totally turn up a joke. And it's a great joke. It's my my trans joke I tell.
Right.
But just one little turn of phrase in one of the lines just makes it like boom, and I'm like, wow. So
isn't it funny how that works? Like one day you've been telling this joke for I don't know how long, and one day you like get this. You're like, hey, why don't I just add that?
Yeah.
And then you add it, and it's great. It's like, why didn't I think of this whole time?
Right.
It's just so weird how that happens, but it happens all the time.
Totally.
All the time.
But yeah, so like when I do stuff like that, and I think about strengthening up a 20, and then you think, oh yeah, your 20 still needs like tiny bit of work and whatnot. You're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be headlining anytime soon. I mean, other than like a club with like a lower barrier to entry, let's say.
Well, everybody starts headlining at lower barrier to entry clubs, right? And I think of like anything, like there's a lot of practice involved.
Sure.
It also depends like what industry credits you get. Like, some people start headlining too fast because they'll get, like, a role on some TV show or something.
I've seen that.
And everybody's like, oh, I know who this person is, but your role on your TV show doesn't inform how well you're going to do at stand-up. And so then they start headlining, and it's like, oh, yikes. Mm-hmm. You know?
Oh, yeah. We've had people.
Oh, yeah. No, we see a lot of headliners now because since we have... You know, and we've had people of a lot of different levels on here. You know, we've had people who have been headlining and are bigger name, you know, pretty big names in comedy on our podcast and been headlining for, you know, over 25 years. And then we've had people who have been headlining for their first time.
Yeah.
And all over that map, we've seen people that you're like, you got some work to do.
Yeah.
And other people that may be super new and you're like, God damn.
Yeah.
You're such a good comic. Like, you know who I hadn't heard of who was so good? You actually weren't there for this episode. I think it was Francisco Ramos.
Yeah.
That guy is so funny.
Yeah, he's great. I've watched a few clips.
That guy is so funny. And, like, every joke when he was headlining was, like, on. And you're like, how is this guy not bigger than what he is? But he, like, everything was, like, perfectly worked out. Like, he was such a good comic. You know, you have that, and then you have other people that you're like, oh, I've seen them in this, or I know them from this. And then they'll do the headline set, and you're like, ooh.
Yeah. Well, I've never anymore looked at anyone with, like, a movie credit and been like, oh, they must be pretty funny anymore.
Well, it doesn't mean anything.
What they did in comedy or where they're coming around. Or even, I mean, a podcast is different than the stage, to be clear. But if you're on a lot of great podcasts regularly, I'm going to assume you have a little bit of grit to you more so than...
You think?
Yeah.
You think on podcasts? I think, because I think podcasting is such a, like, specific skill set.
It is.
And, like...
I think if you can hold your own impromptu on something like, I don't know, Legion of Skanks, like Shane Gillis is on there all the time.
Okay.
He's coming. He's going to be our next guest.
Yeah, guys. It's going to be our next episode. Yeah.
Kill Tony's on. God, I'm forgetting things. I think you know what, dude. But, you know, he's holding his own in, like, a den of, like, wolves.
That's true. That's true.
To where I'm like, and I've seen his set. So, in a way, I'm biased. But on the other hand, I really do think that if you get invited to really hardcore podcasts as, like, a comic, you've got a degree of talent that's...
Well, I see what you're saying, because a lot of it is just, like... Also, comics having comics that they approve on their podcast, right? It's sort of like you're being passed by other stand-up comics in a way.
Right. It's like it could be a confirmation bias. I mean, that's
a little bit
fault that could happen, but generally, I think there's something to it. It's not the main thing, though. No. I mean, the main thing is like if you've got it on stage or if you don't, which. Yeah, and I guess you just gotta wait to see, and credits be damned.
That's true.
Yeah, and that's true with life too, and a lot of different artists.
But credits get people in the door. That's
they fucking do.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh God, we're never gonna solve this chicken.
No, we're not. Just thinking a little bit too much about comedy. We how was your New York weekend?
Yo, New York was hype, and could just be I'm getting a little bit older. I do a little more classier things. I have a little more money.
Right.
You know, and I was also with Mom Dukes, you know, it was kind of her idea. And I kind of at first was like, I don't know if I want to do a thing with my mom, you know, whatever. I'm 30 years
but
old. That's
such nice. Like I was actually telling my husband, I was like, Petey went on a mother-son trip to New York for a weekend. I did like touristy stuff. And Josh was like, that's a great idea. I should give that to my mom before, before a certain thing that's going to happen that I'll talk about later. Uh-oh. I should, he's like, I should do that. He's like, I should do that with my mom because she would love that and that'd be fun. I'm sure it was super nice.
Yeah,
it's such a cool thing to do.
It was great. And it was, you know, she has like a lot of these Marriott points and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So we each had like a room, you know, same floor. We went to Sardi's, which is this great old steakhouse and down in the East Village across from the Schubert Theater.
Okay.
We went to see To Kill a Mockingbird with Jeff Daniels.
How was it?
Fantastic. My only regret, what's his name was supposed to be in it, Gabanga from The Wire, Chris Partlow, that sociopathic murderer guy. He was actually from this area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Gabanga Kanabi, but they put his understudy or another guy.
Oh, it was his night off.
So But Jeff Daniels, fantastic. It was great. I hadn't really thought of that book or that play since I'd read the book as like a teen.
Right.
I'd forgotten the ending. I thought it was updated maybe or made more like current, and I was like, that didn't end like that. No, it fucking ended the same way. I went and Wikipedia'd it after, and I was
nice.
Oh man, this is intense. But then we took a big boat ride around Manhattan on one of those Circle Line boats, and the guy was like this dude that he wasn't funny, but he definitely tried to crack jokes, but he was like really smart. He almost was like a college professor, and it got me thinking like a lot of like kind of maybe failed professors that are like shitty comedians end up being just like
tour guides. Yeah, or like failed comics being our tour guides. Totally.
Really nice guy, as salt of the earth as like a New Yorker gets, and that's just because he was from Pittsburgh originally.
Right, of course.
But he had a really good command of like the city history, and it's a 2.5 hour tour. He's done it for 25 years, so he knows every nook and cranny. And there's just so much like in New York you don't think about.
It's so different because I was in New York at the same time you were.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was in New York for 10 days shooting a movie. And I was shooting, I was starring in this, it's an indie movie. It's probably going to come out in like a year and a half or something.
Yeah.
Low budget indie movie. So I was like seeing a much different hardcore, like I was doing like 12, 13 hour days. Ooh. The production put me in a really nice apartment, but the apartment was in Bed-Stuy.
Right.
So the neighborhood was like, it was like real New York. Like, I felt like I was in an old Jay-Z video. Like, people hanging out on the stoop. Like, all that. Like, that Brooklyn. Like, not even hipster Brooklyn. Like, the old school Brooklyn that you hear about in rap songs.
Sure.
Which was cool, but it was, like, such a different... And, you know, we were, like, shooting... We were mainly... I went into Manhattan, like, twice over the 10 days. Wow. We were shooting all over Brooklyn for the most part. And like days in the subway, there was a lot of subway. We did a lot of shots in the middle of the subway at weird hours and that heat and stuff like that. It was a very, very different. Like New York is gritty. Yeah. Like it's like that city is tough.
It's grueling.
Like when you're working like long days in that heat, you know, and that like taking the train and like it's crowded. It's intense, like it's gritty. It's intense. Like I came back and I was like, oh.
It attacks you sometimes.
Oh my god!
And that was the only complaint. I had a wonderful time. I love my mother dearly. It was a great trip. But I'll tell you that when you're walking around with a woman that's almost like 70 years of age in a big city, and you got to move and shake it. I'm like going back to like, my city mentality, how I'm going to get around or whatever. Right. After like a couple days, we'd like hit another like, crosswalk with the red hand. She'd be like, oh, no, take my hand. Let's go. And like we're walking, some teen kid like is walking, like, get the fuck out of my way. Yeah. I was like taking all my bottled up politeness out on like whoever was around because like this fucking place is intense.
It really does. It's so hardcore. And there's like, I mean, everybody, once you're there for a while, you start to kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
But man, it's like so different, like it gets compared to LA so often, and it's so like LA, you have space, like there's air you can breathe.
So much space.
There's sun. So different, and people
doesn't creep out behind a skyscraper.
Yeah, especially like Brooklyn's weird because like I mean we shot all over Brooklyn, so I really like got a good gauge because like you have that whole like weird new hipster component, but then you have that like old New York, and then there's so much of Brooklyn that you're like that had like no one's paid attention to it,
right? Like
it's sort of been abandoned by the city.
Yeah.
And you're like, how could you do this? And then you walk like 5 blocks and you're like in Williamsburg. It's so weird. Full of with like an Apple store and a Whole Foods. And it's such a weird place. Like, it reminds me of Mexico City a little bit in that way. Like Mexico City where I grew up, it's like you'll have parts, like you'll be in one neighborhood where everything will be like super nice and super dreamy. But then you drive 10 minutes away and it's like you see this whole other side of like poverty and it's just been abandoned. That's the only way I could, and people who've been living in like these houses that don't have good heating or air or all these things for years. Like all this stuff in Brooklyn's like that. It's just such a weird dichotomy of stuff all the time.
You're going to have that in any big city, I think, in America.
I think so, but I feel like, but I feel like in New York, because New York's so congested, or I guess it's all, everything's so close together. Yeah. Like it reminds me of Mexico City. Like it's so crowded that it's right next to each other. Like sort of these certain parts and like the fucked up part, and then suddenly like the way too nice part are like 1 block away from each other. Where I feel like
so crammed in.
That's right. Yeah. Like and it has that sort of crowded feeling that reminds me more of Mexico City than anywhere else in the US I've ever been. Like I don't think it's like DC at all. Like DC is so nice and so beautifully taken care of and so clean. Like I remember when I first came here I was like, Jesus. Yeah. Is this even a city? And there's so much sky because there's no buildings.
Like NASA.
Yeah. Well, I have other feelings about the Metro. It just doesn't take you everywhere you want to go.
No, that's true.
But you look up and there's like, there's no skyscrapers and you have this feeling like you never feel congested. Like in Mexico City, Mexico City is one of the biggest cities in the world. Like it's packed all the time. And it can feel like very concrete jungle congested. And New York has that same feeling.
It's interesting. I never heard of Mexico City, New York comparison, but I guess I'd never thought to look because I've never been to Mexico City.
Mexico City's a lot bigger.
Yeah. You keep telling me I should go.
You should. Yeah. You should. A lot of people I've noticed in the U.S., a lot of people have like really weird perceptions of Mexico City. Yeah, which is so stupid. Yeah. Like, to be honest, it's just dumb. Like, that's very Trumpian. Yeah. Like, really, it's just a huge cosmopolitan city. Right. And the only comparison to it in the U.S. is New York, where you have a million things to do all the time, a million kinds of restaurants, but then, you have like certain neighborhoods where like you don't go there. You have certain neighborhoods where you have to watch your back all the time.
Sure.
But it's like very, very crowded, very trafficky, smog, like all that stuff. I don't know. That doesn't sound that cool, but it's beautiful.
No, I like gritty shit like
that. But it's got grit, but Mexico's different too because it has like pyramids from the Aztecs. Combined with like
I love that I experienced in New York that I hadn't since I've been there last, the subway. That fucking exhaust smell.
I hate that smell.
I fucking love it. And it takes me back to the first time I went up there when I was 16, I want to say. And it has not changed.
Really? That's some like weird nostalgic shit. I hate that smell.
Yeah. I don't know. It hits me. It just bleeds out like hip hop and riding the train and just fucking...
What I like about the New York subway is that it gets you anywhere you need to go. Like you can take the subway and you can get there. Like in DC... If you have to change lines, it's like a fucking mess. Like then there's so many pockets of DC that you can't go. Like they need a metro line that's a circle. You know what I mean? Like it's basically like a little star, and there's all these triangles in the middle of the star that you can't get to on the metro. Like they need a circle.
Well, there's shit underground. There's things to protect federal land, and then there's
nah. It's all because before people were just going into work, and then everybody lived in the suburbs back in the day. It was just to go into work, out to the suburbs, into work, out to the suburbs, and there's not a line that just takes you like around the city in a circle.
That's true, and there never will be.
You think so? Nah. Aren't they doing something like a purple line or some shit like that? That's supposed to.
Yeah, they're building something like the silver line. I haven't rode on either one of those. When I came up, it was just the red line. Pretty much yellow, blue, orange, and then some of the green. They hadn't built all the green.
Really? The green is new?
Yeah, and there were even part stations on the red line that weren't around.
Okay.
Glenmont wasn't always around.
Oh, so like the far ones.
Yeah. Always stuff kind of under construction.
Right.
And, as this population expanded and offices opened up, buildings, residentials and stuff, as you say, it came out. But then there's certain places people don't want you to visit, they're never going to have a stop in Georgetown. You can forget it.
Well, that's why, but I think that's part of why Georgetown is like on a major downfall.
Well, I don't know that we're on a major
100% Georgetown's on a downfall.
So?
Don't get all protective. I have a husband in real estate. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because there's no metro line, like the wharf, the new wharf, is starting to
Southwest.
replace. Yeah, that's all starting to replace Georgetown. Like a lot of the retail is starting, like that Dean and DeLuca shut down. Like so much of the retail is starting to shut down.
DeLuca, I haven't been on M Street.
Yeah, a lot. If you notice, a lot of the M Street stuff starts to shut down because it's like it's pretty much like all tourists and kids.
Oh wow! Am I gonna be living in a slum soon?
I don't know if it'll ever be a slum, but because of its lack of metro access, and because it's kind of isolated, it's becoming less desirable. And you'll notice that there's less and less like development there. Like real estate guys aren't building the apartments and stuff there as much. And it's not because Georgetown is like, oh, it's so cool. It's because no one wants to go there anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's that. I mean, that's all right with
I
me.
mean,
a lot of the people that go, I don't want them there.
I never go to Georgetown because I don't have a car, and it's so inconvenient. Yeah. It's so inconvenient. Like, every time you gotta go, it's like, oh my God. Like, I'll go there to do comedy every once in a while.
If you got a zone 2 in your car, you're straight.
Yeah.
Or if you know the secret spots.
Yeah, but you gotta have a car. Like, the rest of DC, I don't have a car. And when I moved here, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try not having a car, because my husband was like, if you want one. I was like, let me see what it's like. And now I don't want one at all. I've been driving my whole life. Maybe now, actually. Yeah, so what Petey's talking about, guys, dun 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 dun, I have an announcement, and I'm only gonna announce this on the podcast.
Here we go.
Because I'm not putting anything on social media the whole time, so you got to listen to the podcast for this information. I'm pregnant. Yeah. Whoa! Almost 6 months in. It's a girl. Don't believe anything they tell you about beautiful pregnant ladies in meadows. And that, oh my God, you're glowing. I just love it. I feel so good. I love being pregnant. No, it's actually like a fucking nightmare. There's a lot of throwing up. There's a lot of like being tired. And summer you get too hot all the time. I'm super excited to have a kid. Super excited it's a girl. But the pregnancy part, not my scene.
Yeah.
Not my scene. And nobody tells you that enough. It's like if you say that, that's supposed to be like some sort of, I don't know. It's supposed to be like terrible to say. It's supposed to be like bad for the kid or horrible. It's like, no, pregnancy, like you shouldn't, when someone says I'm pregnant, you shouldn't say like congratulations. It should be like, are you okay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm super excited. We're super excited. Starting a family.
Like, bemoan a divorce. If I hear somebody split up, I'm like, okay, well, hope you're happy.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I feel like people still don't know what to say with divorce, like because a lot of people I've heard when they get divorced get upset when people are like, well, it happens all the time, but it's a super painful, traumatic thing that people have to go through. So I don't think they've come up with like the right thing to say.
Well, hey, they've got chicks with dicks now. Live your life.
Oh my God. Super sensitive. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
I mean, here's the thing, man. There's other situations I think that are even more testing. Like, I have a couple friends that lost kids and shit like that.
Oh, that's horrible.
It's terrible. And they had kind of get-togethers after the fact or whatever, not to celebrate, obviously, or anything, but like, people to mourn and everything. It was like a thing that another friend did for a friend, and I remember him sending out an email to everybody and being like, all right, guys, here's like a write-up on things you shouldn't say and stuff in this situation. And I was reading them, and I was laughing out fucking loud because I was like,
that's like jokes.
Who in their right mind would ever say to somebody that just lost a child, like, you could always get another one?
Somebody would say that? What the fuck?
There's an instructional manual telling you don't say that, or don't say God does everything.
I mean, people are idiots. People are idiots, and some people need that shit.
And here's the thing. The God does everything for a reason is like the worst thing, but that came from another instruction manual for idiots.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's called the Bible. what do you believe? You gotta think of something that's like, not hurtful, but maybe a little.
I mean, it's horrible. Like, just think, like, go with like your first empathetic reaction. Just like,
divorce.
I'm so sorry.
It seems so big no more,
Well, because it happens so often. That's my point.
Yeah.
Because it happens so often. Like, I've heard people who get divorced get upset because everyone's just kind of like, look, it happens all the time. Don't worry about it.
Right.
But when you're going through it, it's like super traumatic and horrible.
Right.
And so, like I've heard people say, like, they wish that there was like a little bit more of like an empathetic general public reaction to divorce. Like when you tell your friends, instead of it being like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it can be really, really hard. Like if you're sharing your life with someone and then you're not, and
I guess,
and it gets all legal and shit, and that's hard.
But like to compare the two events, all right, divorce, losing a kid.
Okay, losing a kid trumps getting divorced,
Clearly.
like for sure.
Clearly, and I think part of that is because, an adult's free to kind of come and go as they choose. Where it's like, all right, if you don't like the fucking kid, you can't just be like,
well, no, it's horrible. It's horrible.
you can't just be like, hey, I'm out. No,
that's horrible. I mean, you can't compare the two, because that's like you can't compare.
No,
a loss of life versus. But I'm just saying that divorce is also something that can like be pretty traumatic for people, and people are just kind of like, happens all the time.
Comparing the two just
your
for
own
the fact
fault.
that there's idiot manuals for each. There's dummy guides for what to say in each event.
But I think that the dummy guides, like it's pretty obvious, kind of like how to react.
Divorce, so never mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like for divorce, there should be a better dummy guide.
Yeah.
For divorce than there is. Is my point.
Maybe there's not, because there's so much divorce that people have like been through having to say something, and they're just like, all right, well, I got through the last one, said the right thing, no one cut my head off.
I think it's just because it's just so common.
So next time,
and also
just go to my go-to line.
And also, like, for your friends, right? As like you're probably with this, like, how many weddings have you been to where you're like, this shit's not gonna work out?
This is not gonna work, right?
And then they get divorced, and you're kind of like, oh man.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. I didn't see that coming. Right. And then you, like, move on because you've known that shit wasn't going to work.
Yeah, someone comes up and
for years.
They're like, I'm divorced now, dude. You just look up and you're like, oh, yeah, God, the reason.
Yeah. Or people are like, I'm divorced now. And you're like, oh, wow, it took longer than I thought. You know what I mean?
It's like getting a flyer for the pizza joint.
Right. But when you're in that, maybe that's a little harder than not, than it seems.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, when you're in that, fuck yeah.
Even though you made a shitty choice.
Right.
That we all saw and probably told you about, and then you got mad at me.
Sure.
But what are you going to do?
Right, no.
Because that's definitely happened to me.
It's a big investment. That's why I've never been in a relationship longer than 6 months. There's nothing to do with
You've never been in a relationship longer than 6 months?
Nope.
Whoa.
Nope. Yeah, this is deep shit.
This is deep
shit.
Shit.
Take like 5 counter currents.
Yeah. You gotta unpack that a little bit. Like, I knew you weren't into, like, I mean, something super, but you haven't even gotten to a year with a girl before?
Nah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Gotta work on that compromise, Petey.
Probably.
That's a vibe I get.
Yeah.
That's a vibe I get.
You're right. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's all about.
It's all about keeping your mouth shut.
No. I mean, in the beginning, dating is like a chess game. Then once you get married, you're like, all right, I can let the crazy out.
Yeah.
You're like, here it is. There's nowhere you could go.
Nah, you're fucked now.
Especially now that I've got the kid in the bank.
Yeah. Woo!
You ain't going anywhere.
So tell me what that's like. I mean, in terms of relationship, have you been like
being pregnant?
Yeah, letting loose a lot. Like
no.
Josh is just like, ha.
No, I think it's been a huge change in our relationship, and I just have to say, like, this is gonna sound cheesy, but he's just been like the most amazing partner I could have ever dreamt of. I mean, he's like, I've had a really hard time. I've had a harder pregnancy. Like, I've been really sick a lot. And he's just been like he's just super excited to have a kid, and he's been super positive, but at the same time, like, understanding that I don't feel well, and goes to the store and gets me whatever I need, and is like really caring and make sure, like, part of the reason that you puke a lot when you're pregnant is that you need to eat all the time, or you throw up. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's true. He always makes sure that I have like snacks in my purse, just like little, really thoughtful, great shit like that, and it's made it all a lot easier.
Wow.
So in that sense, I think
No wonder he wants to take a trip with his mom.
you would think I would not blame him, but he's been so great. So I think in our relationship, at least for me, it's just made me like appreciate him. Not that I feel like I didn't appreciate him before, but I appreciate him on a whole new level. And I'm like, I really picked the right dude to do this with.
That's great.
Because if I'd like some other dude, I would be like, I'm cutting this shit off now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, having a good partner makes all this a lot, especially if you have a harder pregnancy. Like, some girls are fine, and it's just like so chill, and I'm just a little hungrier. It's like, really, bitch, I threw up in a bush 5 minutes before I got here.
Did you actually this episode?
No, not today. But the other episodes, there have been times I've thrown up in bushes outside the draft house, both Arlington and here, several times.
Oh wow, you hide it well.
Thank you. Yeah, there's really good ones if you go up the street past Maddie's, and then you cross the street like diagonal.
You got like a
there's
bush
that
map.
I really do. This is how much I puke that like
bush.
I know that I have like barf plants because sometimes I've thrown up in the bathroom. Sometimes I've made it to the bathroom here. And I've thrown up in the bathroom here several times. But when I can't make it to the bathroom, if I'm like outside talking to comics or something, and I'm like, this is just going to come quick. If you go over the corner past Maddie's, there's some good bushes over there, and I puke over there.
Very good.
Yeah. Never like right in front of the club. You know, I don't want to fuck with their patrons.
No. It's
business. But I'm saying, when you're having that kind of pregnancy, the kind that I've had, having a husband who's dope has been really, really great. And he's just excited. He's so excited to have a kid, and he's so excited that it's a girl. And so he doesn't...
Now, I'm just curious, the excitement of having a girl as a man. Not that that's like, you know...
He wanted... So I was the one that was more like, I don't care what we have, but he wanted a girl more than he wanted a boy before. Because... Just because I think little girls love their dads.
Yeah.
So much. And he also comes from a family of all dudes.
Oh, okay.
He has 3 brothers... You know, it's a very like dude heavy family, and like all his cousins are guys, and so he just like he just wanted like a little girl so bad.
Yeah, enough brats to go around, you know.
Right. I mean, I was like, whatever we have, cool. But
like,
then I found out it was a girl,
spice,
and I was like,
nice.
yeah. And I was like, but as soon as I found out it was a girl, I was super excited. But he is like extra pumped, which I think is really important. Like, if you're having a shitty health time pregnancy wise, if you have someone who's like reminding you constantly what this is all for,
right,
but not in a way that's just like, just puke, bitch, you're giving me my spawn. You know, because there are dudes that are like that. They're like, oh, I don't want to be around this shit, no thanks.
Yeah.
But no, he's been really, really, really great.
Great. Well, congratulations.
Thanks, Petey. Petey's known for a long time, everybody.
Yeah, no.
This is it. If he sounds not that excited, it's because he's known for like a good 4 months or something like that.
That's right. So if anyone ever tells you Petey Steele can't keep a secret.
Oh, Petey kept the secret for a long time. You were the first person in comedy I told.
That's right. I'm honored.
Yeah.
So on that note, we both have to do our things, responsibilities. We're on our way to a show at Town Tavern.
That's right.
Before we get out of here, we want to talk about another couple of shows coming up here this weekend at the DC Draft House. My main man, Shane Gillis, is coming on our podcast. He's going to be here Friday and Saturday night, 7 and 9 p.m. both nights. Benji Himmelfarb is going to be featuring, and it's going to be a fantastic time.
And we'll have him on the podcast.
And you'll have, a chance to win a few free couple of tickets.
That's right. And if you want to go over to Arlington, Jimmy O. Yang, who you've seen on Crazy Rich Asians and Silicon Valley, is headlining there all weekend. I think the shows are 7:30, 9:30, or some 7, 9 comeback. 7:30, 10.
7, 9:30.
Yeah, so go check that out. If you want to go to Arlington. So we have a lot of great stuff for you this weekend. And then, that's it, because I was going to promote stuff for next weekend, but I'll do that on our next episode. So, yeah, that's good.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next Monday.
Yeah. Peace. Bye.